DJ's True Crime 2026, turn the lights down low, let the darkness mix. Midnight whispers on an old back road. Every secret's got a story untold. Cold case files and a smoking gun. Truth runs deep where the shadows run. Footsteps echo in an empty hall. Somebody's watching from behind the wall. Red string tied to a photograph. Broken clocks in a shattered past. Every clue's just one more fix. Welcome to 2026. DJ's True Crime 2026. Twisted tales and dangerous tricks. Every lie's got a heavy price. Roll the tape, let's roll the dice. Heartbeat racing, ticking ticks. Truth cuts deep like sharpened sticks. If you're brave, come take your fix. DJ's True Crime 2026. Headlines screaming in black and white. City sirens in the dead of night. Coffee cold on a cluttered desk. One more name on the suspect list. Footprints fade in the falling rain. Every witness recalls the same. A fleeting face, a shadowed mix. Another mystery in 26. Maps on the wall with pins stuck in. Where do we start and where's it end? Truth don't sleep and neither do I. Chasing ghosts that never die. DJ's True Crime 2026. Secrets buried in the politics. Truth is sharper than it looks. Hidden deep between the books. Turn it up, let the story stick. Every twist hits hard and quick. Stay tuned for the final fix. DJ's True Crime 2026. In the midnight city where the neon lights glow. DJ's on the mic and the whole world knows. From the streets to the sky where the blue flames fly. We ride together strong, never asking why. Hear the beat of the drums like a dragon's roar. Every step we take makes the crowd want more. Through the fire in the night, we stand as one. When the music hits hard, that's when we run. We are DJ's Blue Dragon Squad. Rising through the night, breathing blue fire, burning bright in the light. Hear the crowd scream loud when the bass drops hard. Stand up, stand proud for the Blue Dragon Squad. And the sound where the legends grow. Every beat we drop makes the whole place glow. From the underground vibes to the main stage flame. Blue dragons flying high in the game. Hear the thunder roll when the speakers pound. Feel the energy shaking the ground. Every soul in the room feels the spark ignite. Blue dragons rising in the night. We are DJ's Blue Dragon Squad. Rising through the night, breathing blue fire, burning bright in the light. Hear the crowd scream loud when the bass drops hard. Stand up, stand proud for the Blue Dragon Squad. Dragon Squad. No fear, no change, just the rhythm we ride. Blue flames in our hearts, got the squad by our side. When the night falls down and the music's loud, you'll hear the roar of the dragon crowd. We are DJ's Blue Dragon Squad. Hear the legend call. Blue fire rising as the shadows fall. Hands in the air while the beat hits hard. Forever we ride. Blue Dragon Squad.
Sweet boy Sebastian, where are you? The stars stayed up all night waiting too. The next morning your mama came up. You weren't there, your room was empty. Sweet boy Sebastian, where'd you go? Room was still left the same as it was. The whole world has been searching, but there was no evidence of where you went. The wind whistles softly in the night and morning. It hums your name and hums the song of I am the tiger. It's so quiet without your laughter and smile. Life gets harder and harder every day. Sweet boy Sebastian, where have you gone? Everyone has searched through forests and water and near your house with no sighting or sin. If you're hiding, come out and come back. Sebastian, your dad is worried, and so is the whole wide world. Sebastian, where are you? Please show us signs wherever you may be. We are your army, sweet boy Sebastian, so please come home. So please.
Hello, hello. Can everyone hear me? And if you can hear me, put a thumbs up in the chat or a 1 in the chat. And Jacob, I will let you up. And also, for those in the bushes, please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and also share my channel out into the YouTube algorithm. That would be very much appreciated. Really, Jacob?
Hello there.
Really, Jacob? Really? We're just going to wait for a few more people to come in. And then we'll get started. How are you? Jacob, unmute yourself. Hello? Jacob? Jacob? Unmute yourself. Okay, Jacob, I'm gonna share a secret with everyone about you if you don't unmute yourself. Jacob, unmute yourself. Well then. Okay, well, we will get started. And hopefully people start coming in. So here we go. First off, Jacob, can you please put Lolly's link in the chat? Jacob. Okay, well, I guess I will. Here we go. So go and sub up to Lolly if you haven't. And here we go. Share screen. We're going to watch two things on one of her past live streams from a year ago. And then I'm going to pull up a different video afterwards. Okay, so listen to this.
Nope. Let's go down. Okay, I had 1 and 5 mixed up.
If you find yourself walking less and feeling bloated, these insoles are...
Okay, so it says public assistance sought.
So listen to this,
to local
everyone.
missing teen. Sebastian, have you seen me? At night is requesting public assistance in locating Sebastian Rogers, age 15, who disappeared on or about February 26, 2024. Our investigation has uncovered credible intelligence suggesting key connections in Oregon, neighboring states. We are actively pursuing these leads across multiple states and regions of interest. Let me go back down here. I forgot we're going backwards. On November 4th at night, in collaboration with Dog the Bounty Hunter, High Risk Violent Fugitive Rescue Task Force, and licensed investigator from Tennessee and neighboring states working under contract for Sebastian.
And Hendersonville, Tennessee, I think is where Sebastian went missing, if I'm correct. So this is what At Night put a year ago.
Father, and At Night requested that One World initiate a high priority alert through its rapid reach response system. The alert has been deployed and continues to key regions, particularly along U.S. states with Canadian border access points based on intelligence indicating the possible presence of individuals connected to this investigation. At Night remains steadfast in commitment to following all actionable leads across Alabama, Arkansas, Georgia, Illinois, Louisiana, Missouri, Oregon, South Carolina, Virginia, Wisconsin, and identified entry points into Canada. Our team is operating on a 24/7 basis after recent intelligence reveal a digital footprint linked to an individual with direct ties to the investigation. That is probably the most important part of this. Following
which I would have to agree with Lolly. That is the most important with the digital footprint being found.
Originating from Oregon, we have exploited efforts to verify information confirming the involvement of at least 2 individuals in Oregon connected to this case. Their identities remain confidential. It is yet to be determined whether Sebastian was involved in this travel. However, we are focused on corroborating all findings and expanding our understanding of these connections. While no verified sighting of Sebastian has been reported at night, and its assisting partners, including contracted private contractors and investigators, believe that individuals in these regions may hold information credible to locating him. Canadian authorities and other relevant agencies have been notified. We urge everyone with information, however minor it may seem, to report tips immediately. So
that's what the digital evidence was the digital footprint that they found, which was, I think, in 2025. And now, here. I'm going to drop the link in the chat for this channel as well. And here we go.
Please remember to keep the comment section kind. And when you all get here, I will tell you about the absolute going on. Good morning. What's up, you guys? Morning. What the heck? Yeah. Yep, that's sums up my life. I'm just gonna wait for a couple more people to get in here, and then I'll start explaining all of it. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. How's your morning going?
Just wait.
What a time to be alive. Am I right?
She's going to explain. Just give her a few minutes.
So, my channel was deleted because they are claiming that I am impersonating someone. And
this is to do, in my opinion, with Sebastian's case is what I'm gathering from this.
I don't know who I'm impersonating, but it is my content. I can do whatever I please with said content. I can post it wherever I want. I can double post. I can delete posts. It's mine. I own it. I created it. So it's not like a copyright issue that I could understand, but impersonation is wild. And in my appeal, I told them, I'm willing to submit anything to you. I can give you my driver's license, and you can send your decision to my email that is associated with my main account. Here it is. Here's the email. You can see the live streams I'm doing on that channel. It is, in fact, me. And they came back very quickly. I submitted the appeal last night around 10:30. And this morning at 6, when I woke up, the email was, no, you lost the appeal. And that's what it is. So I am going to try one other thing that I know, because I do have contacts.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to try to reach out to someone that might be able to help, but it's 50-50.
Ignore that.
I need to have a meeting with people at YouTube because they have unsubscribed about 20,000 people. That's not bots. It's just not. And I've seen this happen for the past year. And people want to say that it's because I bought subscribers. I don't fucking buy subscribers. I don't. The number doesn't matter. It's the way that the channel is targeting me, or not the channel. It's the way that YouTube is targeting me. It's the way that my videos are performing. When every time I post, I'll automatically lose like
people from the hate side were targeting this lady, I think, for speaking out for Sebastian. And they were claiming that she was impersonating someone, which in my opinion isn't true.
10 people, 15 people, 20 people. But then in the analytics 2 days later, it says I've gained 14 subs or I've gained 22 subs. But that's not reflected in the number of my subscribers. Like something is fucked with this channel.
Oh my gosh.
It's just been like this for an entire year. It's been so frustrating. It's almost impossible for me to stay motivated or excited to film content or happy and like, let me make all these skits for you guys. I'm fucking, I'm a human and it's so hard because I can't pretend that I'm just having a great time on this app when I'm not. When I have to work 5 times as hard to get nowhere. Like I feel like I'm just on a fucking treadmill. But if you just created another channel, like for what? Like they're gonna do the same thing. They're going to do the same thing.
Wow.
And I don't know. It's infuriating. I've never seen a channel perform the way that this one is. My vlog channel is completely fine. It's just this channel and it sucks. I think the internet is very unforgiving as well. There's a lot of factors to it. You make one mistake on the internet and you're crucified for the rest of forever.
Which is
I've had
true.
to recall you a couple of weeks ago. Appeal it again. I can't appeal it again. You get one appeal. You can't just keep appealing. That decision is final. Why do I think they did it? They've been targeting me all year. I was so excited to like see that new channel grow, and you guys were blowing it up so fast, and I was so grateful. And it's like, oh, you had hope. That's so cute. Look at you. You had some hope. Oh my God, it's adorable. Fuck you. Boom. Like body slammed it, and it's life just keeps giving you more life.
That is insane.
Your main channel. You're on my main channel. You're watching my main channel. I created a new channel. And YouTube deleted it.
In my opinion, that is very crazy.
Because they said I was impersonating somebody.
That is crazy.
I can't impersonate myself. And it's also my content. I can post it here. I can post it over there. I can post it everywhere. I can post it in a hat. I can post it on a cat. I can literally post my content wherever I want, as many times as I want. I'm not impersonating myself because I uploaded a couple of videos that were already posted to this channel. And I'm furious. I'm devastated. YouTube usually, to get a video just monetized, say they demonetized a channel or demonetized a video, to get your review and to have a video go from not monetized, you appeal it and you win. It takes over 2 days most of the time, at least 2 days to get an answer. I got an answer with my appeal for that channel being deleted hours after I submitted it.
Oh my gosh.
It's not normal. Like I'm telling you guys, this does not happen. Just to get a video monetized after they demonetized it, it takes 2 fucking days. I submitted the appeal last night around 10:30. I woke up this morning, it was done. They said, no, here's our decision.
Yeah, I see.
That's not normal.
Okay, so now I'm gonna find more videos. So just 1 minute. Teen boy missing for months. Where's 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers? Let's watch this one. And I will drop the link in the chat. Okay, so let me share my screen again.
Highlights episode, which for those of you who don't know, every Thursday I do an audio podcast exclusive episode over on the podcast, and it's called Headline Highlights, and we just talk through case updates, what's breaking that week in the true crime world, kind of just like a little snapshot so that you can stay up to date in all the trials, all the cases, all the breaking cases, things like that. So definitely check it out if you haven't yet. It'll be linked in the description, and that does not get posted to YouTube. It's audio only. But anyway, we talked about this case, and it's one that a lot of you guys have been requesting, and it's the case of Sebastian Rogers. There has been a lot of speculation in this case, guys. Sebastian went missing. People are thinking his parents were involved, that they may know more. It's kind of turned into like a little bit of a media circus. Very similar, I want to say, to the Summer Wells situation, if you're familiar with that case. But anyways, I talked about it a little bit. Since I talked about it, there have been more updates in this case. And so what I wanted to do is I wanted to jump on here and really go through the case start to finish with you guys. All of the things we've uncovered, what we have found out, some of the new updates, just so that it's really all in one place. And hopefully it leads to some awareness, getting some answers, maybe some tips. I don't know. So I would encourage you to please share this video where you can as well. But let's jump right in.
Which I agree. This case, Sebastian's case, is very, very similar to Summer Wells' case. Which after I'm done talking about Sebastian's case, I will be talking about Summer's case after I'm done talking about Sebastian's.
Sebastian Rogers is a 15-year-old boy in Hendersonville, Tennessee, who seems to have just vanished into thin air. Sebastian is autistic, and the search for him has been extensive. He was first reported as missing on the morning of Monday, February 26th. His mom, Katie, and his stepdad, Chris, were the ones who reported him missing. Sebastian had apparently gone to bed at about 9 p.m. on Sunday night. And then when his mom, Katie, went into Sebastian's room around 6 a.m. to get him up, get him ready for school, he wasn't there. So Katie said that she called the stepdad, Chris, immediately. He was working out of town at the time in Memphis, and after she called him, he's the one who called the sheriff's department. Now, if you're thinking these details sound strikingly similar to Summer Wells, you're not wrong. That's kind of exactly what went down. Candace, Summer's mom, noticed she was missing. She called Dawn at work, and Dawn was the one to call the police. Now, it is common for autistic kids to struggle with not running away from their caregiver or not leaving their side. However, Sebastian's parents said that that's not something that he has ever really struggled with. He also doesn't like to get messy, and he loves to play video games. And what makes this situation even weirder is that if Sebastian left, he didn't take his shoes, his phone, or any electronics with him. The only things that the parents noticed that were missing were his glasses and his favorite flashlight. But as you can imagine, a lot of people are starting to point fingers because they're saying it's not making sense. And while I don't want to go gung-ho on blaming people, I do think it's important to note the facts of everything. Law enforcement has desperately been searching for Sebastian. They've been using helicopters, canines, drones, dive teams, horses, and honestly, everything else that you can think of. But there hasn't been a single promising lead that we know of at this point. On Monday, March 4th, law enforcement announced that they would be scaling back on the search, and they're now going to be looking into foul play. So for starters, no security footage of Sebastian leaving the house has been found. Not from his house, not from the neighbor's house around him, not anywhere. Nor has there been any single scent picked up by canine dogs. So since Sebastian has gone missing, both his mom, stepdad, and his bio dad have all spoken out. His mom and stepdad first spoke on a YouTube panel before also speaking to the news. On the YouTube panel, they went over their version of events from Sunday night into Monday morning when Sebastian was then discovered to be missing. So take a listen.
There's actually a piece of, so to make something very crystal clear, so that way there's transparency across the board. Me and the mom were on the phone at 9:43 or 9:46 in the evening. We stayed on the phone for quite some time. The call logs have been verified by all the police departments, TBI included. We stayed on the phone. It was very lengthy. Mom did slightly start falling asleep while she was on the couch. I had said, hey, you need to wake up for the dog.
In my opinion, that's a lie. If she was on the call for 3 hours with CP, then how did she go to bed? That's my question. What, was she sleep talking on the phone? There's so many stories in this case from CP and KP. There's 5 different stories. It's insane.
Up, go to bed. Now, mind you, that was right around midnight, just before midnight or right around midnight.
Mm-hmm.
So then mom does go to bed and wakes up early in the morning to go wake her son up, get him ready for school. And now we have a worried mom who can't find her son in the house. Mom made an effort to look and search several times. Mom has called me at the time and asked me, she was like, I can't find him. I was like, do what? She goes, yeah, I cannot find him. I said, well, hang on. I made the phone call and reported it to the sheriff's department because that's what we're supposed to do. And within 10 minutes, the sheriffs were dispatched to the location.
In that same interview, Sebastian's stepdad made sure to say that they have been cleared.
Is there anything that you want to put to rest while you're here tonight or make clear to the public about this situation? I know you told me there was a statement that you wanted me to make about you and the mom and the dad. So if you want to make any clarification about that, you have free reign to do so. We will not allow you to be disrespected here on this platform.
I have no malice or ill intent toward anybody. Everybody has an opinion.
Of course.
But what is factual is that the father, the mother, and myself have been extremely cooperative. We have been vetted. We have been checked out. We have been questioned and everything of that nature, and literally have been cleared. There is no wrongdoing. There is no negative input from.
If you've been extremely cooperative, then Sebastian would have been found by now, CP, in my opinion. You and KP both hold the keys to this.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about.
The parents or any of the family.
Then they said a similar thing again in another interview. Listen.
Are you both in the clear?
I can tell you that Mom, myself, and the father have worked very fully and cooperatively with all agencies across the board. We have anything that they've wanted, we have provided.
Interestingly, law enforcement has not said whether or not they are cleared, yet they're announcing that they are, which always is a red flag to me. Sebastian's mom and stepdad are also 100% sure that he walked out the door on his own. And in their news interview, they also had a message for him. Listen.
What do you want to say to Sebastian? What do you want him to hear from you right now?
That we love you so much and we want you to come home and you're not in trouble.
In the interview that Sebastian's dad did, he said he has been out searching for him every single day. And it was very evident that he is just completely distraught, completely heartbroken, and not sure at all about what happened. However, you can tell, and he made it pretty clear that he was not wanting to say anything about him disappearing from his mom's house. So now it's obviously been quite a few months since Sebastian first went missing, and you would think that there would be some significant updates in this case since then, right? The problem is there hasn't really been quite as many updates as I hoped that there would be, as at least significant updates. A statement was released in April by the TBI stating that social media's involvement in this case has now become just this huge distraction. And they even said that it has taken time away from the agencies and the resources they've needed to really involve themselves in being focused on this case. They even went as far as detailing how Katie and Chris had to leave town due to threats that they were receiving. So with that being said, let's kind of get right into what we do know, what we don't know, bias and opinions aside, and let's just talk through it together. Because like I said in the start of this video, it is starting to feel somewhat Summer Wells reminiscent in terms of how quickly it's spiraling out of control. So the searches for Sebastian seemed to be pretty consistent, yet not a single one resulted in anything useful. On March 7th, the search then took a turn when the investigators announced that they were going to be searching a landfill. This landfill was in a place called White Plains, Kentucky, but it was apparently where all of the trash in Sebastian's neighborhood went. The authorities claimed that there was nothing to specifically indicate that they needed to search it, but it was more of a precautionary measure. That's what they called it anyway.
Heard from the Sumner County Sheriff telling us that they were looking in a very specific location, the location right behind me with that white tarp right there and a few people moving around. As you can see, there's more activity there now than there was previously in the day. It looks like they've resumed normal operations. Now, what's interesting about what the sheriff just told us is that they were looking this specific area because the trash from Sebastian's neighborhood got dumped here today. They spoke to the driver of the trash truck for that area, and he said that it was put in that space right behind us. I want to show you some drone footage. This is as close as they've let us get to the search, but we took this a little bit earlier. You could see about 20 people searching this concentrated area.
So the reason how come they checked the landfill and did a search there is because they thought Sebastian may have been hidden somewhere there, which he was not hidden there, as we still don't know where he is to this day.
using an excavator to move around the trash to get a better idea of what's there. As you said, this is all precautionary. The sheriff's office says that they were doing this to rule out possible questions and options, telling them where Sebastian may be.
But unfortunately, this search didn't really yield anything and nothing was found. A few days later, on March 10th, Sebastian's father, Seth, told the media that a search dog had apparently tracked Sebastian's scent to a construction site. But it all also just ended up being this big false alarm. So as part of the ongoing investigation, authorities encouraged neighbors and then other people in the area of Sebastian's home to start combing through the security cameras on this off chance that maybe they would catch something. And sure enough, a neighbor did turn in a clip to the police that they found to be a little bit odd. Now, the clip pretty much went viral all over the news, and the video takes place in the early morning hours of February 26th. It was around 3:10, 3:07, 3:10 a.m. Now, as a short little background information, the neighborhood doesn't have any streetlights, so it's essentially pitch black outside. In the clip, there are two little flashes of light that are seen moving across the camera, presumed to be possibly flashlights that are being held and moved around by two different people. Now, I won't lie, this video is really grainy, and it's hard to see anything worthwhile. It's not like there's a clear shot of two people moving around in their backyard or anything like that. Apparently, this clip came from a camera that was pointing toward the back of Sebastian's house, though. So even though it doesn't show a clear shot of anything, the fact that there is movement and something going on in the backyard at 3 a.m. the night that Sebastian disappeared, it's suspicious to say the least.
Two light sources, which we've circled to help you follow. For point of reference, the security camera was pointed toward the back of Sebastian's home in a common area. In the video, you see subject 1 with a light source in the lower right-hand corner. Then you see subject 2 briefly appear and move toward the first before that light source is covered or obscured by bushes. Subject 1, a few seconds later, then moves out of frame. Then subject 2 reappears.
Welcome to the new generation.
It's a short time later, and it's very vague, but then you see one of the subjects moving quickly back through the common area, and that is it.
Now, we also know that the only thing that was missing from the house was supposedly Sebastian's flashlight. So the question was, could he have been one of these lights that was outside of the house? When all of this came out, the investigators first said that capturing something going on outside of the home at 3 a.m. was significant in and of itself, and they said that they would be doing their best to enhance this video and see if any other helpful information could come from this clip. Kind of vague, but they weren't completely disregarding the clip, and it seemed like they were going to be looking into it further. And the main thing that has been said over and over and over again in this case, literally since day one, is that there is no evidence of foul play. Granted, the investigators have also said that they're not ruling anything out. So yeah, there might have not been any signs of a fight or something like blood stains in, say, Sebastian's room, but on the other side of the coin, there really wasn't any evidence to directly point to him just up and walking off on his own. And I think the main question that everybody has when considering the theory of Sebastian just running off is, how in the world is a 15-year-old boy with autism, how could he basically outsmart the county sheriff's office as well as the TBI and somehow manage to also stay hidden all of this time? I mean, I guess never say never, but it does seem incredibly unlikely. Now, Sebastian's mom, stepdad, and biological father have all continued doing interviews since his disappearance. Never together, though, with all three of them, though. It's always kind of either Katie and Chris or Seth by himself. On March 18th, 2024, Katie and Chris took part in an exclusive interview that was posted on the YouTube channel called Chronicles of Olivia. There's a lot going on in this 20-minute video too, but something I did find interesting was the conversation that was surrounding those surveillance clips that I mentioned earlier. So take a listen.
One other question I have is, recently Channel 5 in Nashville, they had security footage that showed two flashlights the night he disappeared. Is there anything that you think about this video? Or
Sure. So there's a lot of speculations about that video that are floating on the internet. Okay. And that is exactly what it is. It's speculations. Now, what I can give you an official statement on is TBI Newslink has released a statement from law enforcement, between local law enforcement, state law enforcement, some federal law enforcement, and they have analyzed that video so many times over that everything that everybody is trying to assume is a flashlight, I hate to say this, it's not. As much as we would love it to be one, it's not. I'm not going to go into details as far as where that video is shot from, but I can tell you, as the parents, we have seen the video firsthand from law enforcement. We know exactly where it was taken from, and nothing that is being assumed right now is actually true about that video, unfortunately.
Okay.
And anything about any other videos or anything like that, please refer to the TBI news link that they have out there, the updated Amber Alert stuff. And it will give you the most up-to-date information that all law enforcement has. And they will give you...
In my opinion, CP, you and KP have been lying to law enforcement. So how are they supposed to find Sebastian without the truth?
Current as far as what's what and how they're looking at things.
And if there's any new video, forward it to them.
Please.
So they essentially stated that the clips were not relevant in the case. Now, TBI did release a statement before that interview pretty much saying the same thing, so it's not like they pulled that information from nowhere, right? The statement said, many neighbors and businesses have provided video from home and business surveillance systems. We are grateful for that cooperation. The video has been collected, and from the beginning of the investigation, it has been analyzed and enhanced where possible by tech experts within the TBI, through the FBI, and also the Secret Service. To date, nothing gathered in these videos has been determined to be significant. We do caution that some surveillance video being shared in the public may have been misinterpreted or misidentified, or not shown in its entirety. It has been determined that it does not hold any evidentiary significance to the investigation. So I guess the main question I have with that is what was going on in those clips if it's apparently no longer relevant? Even though it was determined not to be evidence, the investigators also told News Channel 5 that they couldn't say what those lights were since the investigation was ongoing. During the interview, Katie and Chris were also asked about, quote, the heat that they were receiving online. And just like in other interviews, Chris pretty much took the reins. And in way more words than what I'm using, he definitely proclaimed their innocence.
Do you guys receive
salads for your fast-paced lifestyle that nourish you?
People are people, and they have their opinions. Everybody is formulating their idea of what's going on and who's guilty and who's not guilty because they want to know, or they feel they need to know. There's a difference. Unfortunately, what I will tell you is that when you're the family in this position and you're working with law enforcement and everything's going the way it goes, people automatically assume this parent or that parent. And in this situation, I can promise you, every single parent has been vetted. I can't go into details, but I can tell you we have been vetted and we have been cleared of all possibility of wrongdoing, foul play. There's nothing to that. We've heard all kinds of stories.
I pretty much don't even go online anymore at this point.
I, on the other hand, I do go on and I do talk to these folks, and I want them to understand they have this formulated opinion on who we are, not who we truly are. They've never met us. We've never crossed paths with some of these folks. But I have told them all online, if you want to know, just ask me. I'll answer your questions to the best of what I can. There are some things that I cannot give you because law enforcement has dictated that we are not to provide certain information. But I will try. I am direct, I am brash, but I am very respectful. So if you have questions, ask. I'll give you what I can.
So again, they're using this term cleared like they have in other interviews, when really it's still kind of up in the air whether or not that is truly the case. The TBI spokesperson, Susan, confirmed during a press conference that all of the adults were cooperative in the investigation, but she never specifically said that they were cleared. Her exact words were, quote, "They have pretty much done whatever law enforcement has asked of them. At this point, we don't have any evidence. There is not any kind of indication that there is a criminal element involved. But we are keeping options open. We don't know what has happened. We don't know where Sebastian is right now. So we are pursuing any and all avenues." It does seem to me like it is maybe still a little bit up in the air, just a little bit, and that there's maybe just a lack of literally any evidence to point in either direction, but you tell me what you think. Now, when Seth has been asked the same question, he doesn't have the same response.
Have you been cleared?
I don't know if the investigation is still ongoing.
I will be right back, and then we will finish off the rest of the video. No. Okay. And I am back.
we wouldn't be cleared until the investigation's done. But currently, from my understanding, they don't have any information that would attach us to any wrongdoing.
Not too long after Katie and Chris's interview, Seth spoke with Court TV. This was on April 6th, and he did an interview of his own. This interview is only 10 minutes long, but when I tell you guys the amount of things that Seth dropped in this one interview, I mean, it's insane. Listen.
Are you leaning towards a potential kidnapping?
Anything is speculation at this point in time, because there is no, as they have said, evidence that leads towards foul play. But there's things that just don't add up. His mother was the last one to see him. She's responsible for this, either through negligence at the bare minimum.
Has she been a good mother to Sebastian?
Not in my opinion.
Why
This
do you
is the
say
third
that's
time that issue. You know, my son's come up missing now under her watch. Time before that, her and Chris let my son get molested and raped in their apartment. And the time before that, I did a well care check because she let a known sex offender who, yes, did their 9 years in prison, but she left my son around that person. You don't do that. If you're a parent, you don't do that. You're supposed to protect your kid.
I think the person that CP is talking about is one of Sebastian's grandmothers, allegedly, and in my opinion.
You don't put them in where they can get in any type of harm's way.
Seth, you said something very upsetting, very shocking, and I just want to go back just a moment. You said that your wife allowed your son, Sebastian, your ex-wife, I should say, your ex-wife allowed Sebastian to be in a situation where he was molested and raped.
In California, and Chris in her apartment, they let a child who was 5 years older than my son play with my son and didn't bother to check on him there neither. And he lost his innocence because of it.
Seth, I'm so sorry to hear this. I'm so sorry to hear this. No child should be subjected to any kind of abuse whatsoever. Sexual abuse can be especially traumatic for a young child. Is this something that Sebastian has struggled with since then?
Yeah, finally was able to actually start getting him therapy for it last year. The fact is that they weren't doing the correct thing, clearing California. And it's just last year finally getting him help because he's a victim. And now I'm finding out not only was, he was a victim of that, he's a victim of not getting the help he needs. And, I've listened to some of their podcasts where they make fun of him, make fun of his dancing. Chris obviously has this thing about corporal discipline with him. And it's just, it's not good.
Seth, I'm so sorry.
I need to find my son.
Right.
And he's going to need extensive.
In my opinion, CP and KP are not hurting through all of this. Seth is hurting very emotionally. he wants his son back. I agree wholeheartedly with everything Seth is saying.
Extensive therapy now to put him back on the right track.
Yes. Was Sebastian the one who told you about the sexual abuse that had happened?
His mother did, and my son did. This happened in California, so Sheriff's Department, CPS was involved. Sheriff's Department was involved there. They wouldn't give me the kid's name, his last name. But at least the only thing I was able to do there was put the detective over that case in contact with the school psychologist so that at least they could protect the other children from this child.
Right. So no juvenile proceedings commenced or anything like that, Seth, with this child. He wasn't brought to juvenile court.
Mm-hmm. No, in California, kids 13, they're like, he's too young to prosecute. And they wouldn't do anything about the parents either.
I know that was a lot, and I don't want to get too repetitive and pretty much just explain everything that he already said. But I think that from this interview alone, it's pretty clear that there is a lot of animosity between Seth and Katie and Chris. I mean, even if the latter genuinely ends up not being involved in this disappearance in any way, it just feels like there is a lot of tension. In early April, a pair of eyeglasses were found, and those were turned into the investigators because they were thought to have possibly been belonging to Sebastian. But since then, the glasses were determined to not belong to Sebastian, and just like that, they were right back at square one. Now, the most recent update in the case took place at the beginning of May. This is when a photo of a teen who looked eerily similar to Sebastian went viral. The picture was taken at the Visitor Center in the Blue Ridge Mountains in North Carolina. It was taken by a woman who was familiar with the case and thought that this boy might be Sebastian. And literally everyone who saw this picture was freaking out, wondering if it could really be Sebastian after all of these months. And I gotta say, the boy in the picture does look just like Sebastian. So if it turned out to be him and he was confirmed to be alive and well this whole time, I mean, this could completely change the course of the investigation, right? So as soon as Seth heard about this, he literally got in the car and he drove all the way to the visitor center just so he could see himself, this boy in this picture. But sadly, after taking a deeper look into it, the investigators informed the media and Seth that the boy in the photo was not Sebastian. But even though it wasn't him, Seth told the media to keep calling in with any potential sightings or anything that might be useful to the case.
I just wanted to see his body language, the way the child was walking, to see if it was possibly my son. And, the lady, her and her son, I would like to say thank you because that gave me a little bit of hope.
As of right now, the Sumner County Sheriff's Office are still the lead investigators with the help of the TBI and the FBI. Seth has practically been banging pots and pans, just begging for the FBI to take the lead in this case because he feels that the investigation needs fresh eyes and that the county really isn't handling the situation with as much urgency as they should, which they, of course, have denied that being the case entirely. But unfortunately, for the FBI to take over, they would need to be requested by the county or even the district attorney's office. And my concern, my worry is that the county's pride might get in the way of things. I mean, as awful as that is to assume, you just never know. And we have seen that happen sometimes before. They could keep running around in circles for months saying that they have everything in control. They're investigating everything instead of just admitting that maybe they do need help.
I tried a ton of AI work tools. Then I tried Monday.com. Game over. Monday.com.
Pretty early on, Seth also hired a private investigator named Heather Cohen. And by the way she describes her daily tasks in the case, I can only imagine how much money this is costing Seth. Heather told Yahoo News in late April that she looks into new tips in this case almost daily. She also claimed that some days start as soon as she opens her eyes and they won't end until 2 or 3 in the morning. Despite her best efforts, though, no tips have led to anything significant. Seth has said in multiple interviews that he really isn't sure whether or not Katie or Chris are putting efforts into finding Sebastian all this time. When he was asked if they had been, he very plainly put it that they hadn't been with him, so who really knows? Maybe they had been on their own, maybe they haven't, but one thing is for certain, he's frustrated and he doesn't get why it seems like they're more worried about saving their own asses and clearing their own name rather than focusing their energy and that energy on finding Sebastian.
They were going on podcasts and it was like, it's supposed to be about Sebastian. They wanted to talk about themselves. I don't get that. We need to get Sebastian's face out to everybody. Have them looking for Sebastian. This isn't about me. It's not about his mom. It's not about his stepdad. This is about Sebastian. He needs to be found.
Have they been searching at all? I mean, I know you're out there right now. Have his mom and stepdad been out there too?
I can't answer that question. I don't know. I haven't seen them. And they've not been where I've been handing out flyers or searching. So I couldn't tell you what they've been doing.
So even though there have been a few updates over the last few months, the case is essentially in the same place it was when it started back in February. And the lack of any evidence that the public knows of, at least, is honestly astounding. TBI has stated on their website that a lot of information is being kept from the public, though. So, I mean, hopefully there's more going on behind the scenes that we just aren't made aware of yet. But my question for you is, have you been following this case? What are your thoughts on it? What do you think happened to Sebastian? What is the truth here? And hopefully we will learn, but my worst fear and my biggest worry is this going to become another Summer Wells situation where years go by without any answers, without any discovery of Summer, whether she's alive or not, but certainly without any peace or closure? But is that the direction that this is going? I sure hope not. For his family's sake, for Seth's sake, I hope that they get answers very soon. So as I said in the beginning of this video, please share it where you can, because maybe there's somebody who knows something, who saw something, and this, I mean, let's
check what time I'm at. Okay.
just bring Sebastian home. Thank you guys.
Okay, well, thank you to whoever was watching in the bushes and whoever was in chat today. I very much appreciate it. And if you can, on your way out, please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and share my channel out into the YouTube algorithm. And for those in the bushes, please do the same as well. And until next time, everyone, peace.
Thank you for the live, DJ. You did a good job.
You're welcome.